What's going on, boys and girls? It's your boy Jason here, and in today's video we're going to talk about being hungry. And I think it's a good idea to be hungry. This is a mindset training video, so I hope you've brought your appetite. Bring that fork and spoon and a bib for yourself. Let's talk about getting hungry. Let's go. All right, so in this video, I want to talk to you about being hungry. And you're probably thinking, well, what does that have to do with anything? I'm hungry every day, right? Well, I totally get that. Excusez-moi. All right, now just think for a moment. Think about what it is that you want to do. On this channel, we've covered, having a vision board like I have on my wall up there somewhere. Having a dream board, having just a plan written out, and we'll get into more of that stuff in a future video. But I've also talked to you about the mindset and why that is such an important thing. And if you have the right mindset, you can conquer this thing. I'm telling you that it's not so easy when you come from a pre-brainwashed, well, actually a brainwashed mentality. And I say that because honestly, most of you guys and gals, most of you people are brainwashed. I was brainwashed. So I'm not saying this to chastise you, to put you down. I'm saying this as a known fact that most people are brainwashed. And they're brainwashed into thinking whatever it is that the culture tells them to think. Oh, you got to go to school, you got to, and brainwashing, it has this very sick, twisted vibe about it, and kind of should, but you look at like the fact that, I was raised up to believe this and this and this, and they may actually be good things. Yeah, sure. But there's a certain point where you where you have to come and realize that, when it comes to thinking for yourself, some of the thoughts that were ingrained in you from when you were young are still pulling at you. And some may be good, like if you have faith in a religion, in a deity, whatever, those are good things. Being raised a certain way is not bad, but what I mean is that there are certain things that you have to look at that can be not so good, such as, you understand that the only way to legitimately make money is with a 9-to-5 job. So what do you have to do? You have to go to all your schooling. You got to go to college if you want to get a really good job, right? You got to have that degree. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck flipping burgers. And I think we all know that that is no longer the case. And the question is, was it ever really? Because I was taught that my whole life that, you can have moderate success with just a high school education. But if you really want to support a family, and that was the pain point for me, that I got suckered into going to college. Not that I regret it. Looking back, I don't regret it, but it was a lot of wasted time. I don't even care much for my degree. But, I was suckered into thinking that I could not afford to support a family with just a high school diploma. I had to have a college degree. And I'm 36 years old, and I don't think that there's even one employer. I don't think there's even one employer that has ever asked me for my highest form of education. Not on a written form, not in an interview, nothing. Maybe because I had already written it down on my resume, they didn't bother to ask, but it's as if they didn't even care, And ultimately, let me say this. Okay, there will be cases where people will care, and they'll obviously look at the fact that you've gone to a school or whatever, especially if it's a special type of job. They'll look and think about, this is for woodworking, and you have to be a carpenter to work at this job. Looks like you went to college for woodworking, so yeah, you're an obvious fit. Now let's get to know you. So there's cases like that, but in most cases, it just doesn't matter. At least not as much as knowing who you are as a person. You could be the best fit, and they'll see that by having a one-on-one discussion with you, and they would overlook the education thing. Because it just, if you have an amazing portfolio, references, all that good stuff, if you worked your way from the bottom and you worked your way up, and you have experience, you have credible skills and all that stuff, you have the references and all that other stuff. If you have all that, having a college degree is not as important. It's kind of like it's kind of like an afterthought thing. But anyway, that's not what I'm getting at here. What I'm getting at is being hungry. And so you're brainwashed into thinking that, well, I got to have a college education in order to go anywhere in life. That's one of the things. The other thing is, once I graduate college, then I got to find a job. Well, why do you have to have a job? That's a real question. I'm asking you, why do you have to have a job? I mean, you can have a job. There's nothing wrong with having a job. You got to pay the bills somehow. But why have a job? Why not have a career? Why not have a purpose? Why not get into entrepreneurship? Oh, well, that's your job. No, not really. A job is when you work underneath someone and you trade your time for money. Being an entrepreneur is you're your own boss, you set your own hours, you live your own lifestyle, and money flows through that. You're just living and money flows through you. That's it. That's a far cry from the 9-to-5 stuff. And I'm not trying to knock the 9-to-5 stuff, but what I am saying is that you have an option to choose your life based on your desires, and that's how it should be. But how do you get there? We talk about many different ways that you have to, have the right mindset and everything. But I think most importantly of all, you have to be hungry for it. Because you could watch these videos and think, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's all well and good, but you know what? I'm not really ready for this yet. I feel like, my job is good, it's stable. I didn't really get hit too bad from the pandemic. It's all right. That's how you can feel, but the truth of the matter is, you're just not hungry. You ain't hungry. And what does it mean to be hungry? Being hungry means that you know that there's a lack within you. Being hungry means there is a lack of something within you, and it needs to be filled. So you're probably watching this video. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you're a hungry person right now, and you're watching this video, and you're thinking about the pain, because when you're hungry, there's pain. There's a lack of something. That lack causes pain. They're called the hunger pains, right? Not the Hunger Games, but the hunger pains. So there's this pain, there's this emptiness, there's this lack, there's something within you, and this emptiness, this void, and you feel it, and you just know that something is not right. You watch this video, you watch all sorts of videos on YouTube with people saying, here's how to make $500,000 per month blinking your eyes and wiggling your nose. I'll show you how, right? There's all sorts of videos like that. And so you watch every single video, and despite the clickbaity title, all it comes down to is, well, if you buy this course and spend an arm and a leg, I'll show you the secrets on how to get rich. Oh, wow, they just clickbaited me. Oh, I see how it is. So then you get upset, you get depressed, you get sadder because you thought, okay, finally, someone is going to show me, because the title says, step by step, I will show you how to make $500,000 a second by touching your earlobe. I'm obviously being facetious here, but you see those kinds of videos and you click it. And it's like this 20 to 30 minute long video, kind of the same length as my my videos. But you click, you're watching all the way through. And every minute that you're watching, you're just hoping that they get to the point. You're hoping that they get to, and you don't want to miss all the valuable content they're giving you because they're showing you something. But then at the very end, you're waiting for that one aha thing where they finally reveal it to you. and it goes to some product that costs more than you get per month. And then you get sad about it, and you start dwelling on it, and you go to another video, you go to another one and another one from different YouTubers, hoping that one of them's going to be legitimate, one of them's going to be authentic enough to say, hey, I'm not BSing you, this is how it works, and actually show you. And you find out that most of them just, they're not really showing you that. So you stay hungry. And, I'm not trying to knock off people who do that, because that's how they get rich. That's how they get the money. Is it unethical? No. There's many different ways that people make money. People, use clickbait, and, that's kind of the way it goes. But I understand how frustrating it can be. I understand when you're hungry. I've been there. I still go through it. I don't think there'll ever be a time that I won't be hungry. There'll never be a time where I'm not trying to do more and get more. But if you're hungry, you have to realize that no one is going to feed you. No one is going to provide a handout. No one is going to say, here you go. You have to go and get it yourself. You have to go. If you're hungry enough, you will find a way to make it happen. You have to go and devour as much as you can. Now, how do you do that? Because this is getting a little like, well, what does that mean? Getting education is great. Let me tell you something that I do. When I see all of these people saying, I can show you how to make $500,000 a second by touching my t-shirt 20 times per month, right? Again, being facetious here. Sorry, my wife is, whatever, texting me. Anyway, so, again, I'm being facetious here, but my point is that, I'll go to those videos and I'll watch that content, knowing fully well that at the end of it, there's going to be a bait and switch to where they say, if you want to know more about the secrets that no one will ever tell you, that all of the gurus know who sit on top of the mountains in those flashy mansions and are driving those awesome cars, all of those secrets will be revealed once you click this link and go to this webinar. And at the end of the webinar, there will be an exclusive offer. Something that normally costs $30,000 for the course. I'm willing to give it to you at the low cost of only $5,000. Yeah, I see that all the time. Okay. So what I do is I watch those videos knowing fully well what's going to happen. And I'll go to those webinars too. I'll click the link because I want to know what is it that they're doing. So maybe I could replicate that, So I go there, I check out their webinars, and I sit through the whole thing. And I get some good stuff. I get some, some little tips here and there that seem pretty cool. Like, oh, okay, cool, nice. Yeah, all right, sweet. And so I'll do that. And then when it comes time to the secrets, if you just buy this for $5,000, I'm like, nope. And I just exit from there. And then I move on. And I go to the next one. And I go to the next one. Now, I understand from a certain mindset that could be this disheartening. Like, wow, you want those secrets. You want to know how to make. But they're already giving it to you. They're already giving it to you. What you should do, what you're doing at that point is you are absorbing the value that they're giving. Because in order for them to get any sort of success, in order for those gurus, whatever you want to call them, to get any form of success, they have to provide value. They have to give you some of the secret sauce as an appetizer. Not the whole thing, but some of it. And so you, at that point, sorry, my wife is texting me. She picks the wrong time all the time to text me. Trying to stay focused here. All right, you see, this is unscripted. This is me being real. But I love her. She's cool. She's cool. So yeah, the point that I'm trying to say is that you know, this they have to give you some of the secret sauce, an appetizer, to draw you in, and then they give you the remainder of the course afterwards, right? They give you the remainder of the course once you're drawn in enough. But what I do is I take and I have this mental image of, like, you know, when you were younger, or maybe you do this now at whatever age you are. Do you ever go to a mall, like one of those big Galleria malls or whatever, and you go to the food courts and you're hungry, right? You're hungry, but you don't got the money to buy a meal. So when you go to a food court, you see that, you know, in front of all of these little fast food joints that you could check out and get some food, every other counter has someone with a tray of samples, right? So what I used to do growing up, because me and my cousin were straight broke, we would go to a mall, and we would go to the food court, and we would go from person to person who was offering the appetizers, and we would just eat them, and then we get in the car and drive to the next mall and do the same thing. We would do that, you know, for a couple malls, because there was two that were kind of close to each other. So we would just go mall hopping to get some appetizers from every counter that would offer it. And by the end of it, we were satisfied. We were okay, you know. So that's kind of my approach to this whole thing. Is I will go to these, you know, I will watch these YouTube videos from these people offering the world and giving you small little appetizers, and they link you to their webinars, and then you can watch the webinar. At the end, you know they're going to sell you something. And I would go through the entire process just to learn what they know and what they're willing to offer for free as an appetizer. I would take that knowledge, go to the next person, take that knowledge, go to the next, take that knowledge, keep going. Call it mall hopping, virtual mall hopping. That's what I do. That's what I tend to do, because, you know, you can get a meal, and a meal is just the bigger version of the appetizer. The meal is, you know, the culmination of everything that's based on the size is able to fill that hunger, to satisfy that hunger. But if you go to enough places and get all the appetizers, you can still satisfy that hunger. You can still satisfy that hunger. Think about that. It's smaller, it's bite-sized, it's not the full picture, it's not the whole story, but if you connect the pieces enough times, you can build that picture. One person will give away secret A. Another person will give away secret B. Another person will give away secret C. So if you get them all three together, you got A, B, and C together, without having to spend a dime. So it requires you knowing that you are hungry, that you acknowledge there's something missing, that there's this emotional need to fill this, because you know that you are not meant for what you are currently in, and you need to get out of this, and you need to succeed with your life. You know that there is a calling on you. You know that there's a certain purpose, a certain mission that you need to get there, but you don't know how, and you don't know where to get started. Well, stay hungry and go get it. Let me rephrase that. Don't stay hungry. Actually, like I said, you'll always get hungry in real life as well as here. And that's good. Hunger's good, because at least it lets you know that you're not going to be, You're not going to become complacent, right? If you stop getting hungry, then you'll stop growing. If you stop getting hungry, you will stop growing. Some people look at hunger as like, why is it that I have to get hungry every day? Man, don't you just wish that you could just eat once and never be hungry again? Well, hunger is letting is your body telling you that it needs more sustenance, and that sustenance gets burned inside, melted. It gets, digested and everything, and then the nutrients help to build your body up. So that, eating helps you to grow. So if you stop getting hungry, you will stop growing. So yeah, stay hungry, but not like, what I mean by that is it's a poor choice of words. I really mean you will always be hungry, but satisfy that hunger by going out and getting what you need to sustain you. All right? No one's going to feed you. Maybe, and here's the thing. Here's the truth, though. Here's the truth. I want to be completely real with you. If I had the money, I'd buy that burger and fries when I was, mall hopping. If I had the money, I'd buy the whole meal. But I didn't. So if you're in a position where you can't afford $5,000 for this course and that course, okay, go mall hopping and get your appetizers. But understand this, there needs to come the time when you can invest that $5,000 into a course. There's nothing wrong with it. I spend $5,000 on a course. I spend $2,000, $1,000. $5,000 was the highest that I've ever spent. But I spent it, and I learned a great deal from all the courses that I become invested in. You have to if you're going to spend that much money, right? But I learned a great deal from them, and I earned money from every single one that I've invested in, more than what I've paid into it. But I allow myself to keep being hungry so that I could keep learning. I just bought this book by the request of one of my mentors. Just bought it. It came just today, actually. This is The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. So I haven't started reading this yet, but I'm going to. And my wife is texting me again. So anyway, I bought this book per the request of my mentor. The second that he said, if you want a book that really impacts you like it did with me, get this. He told me that this book impacted his life and helped him with his business. Now he makes way more than I do. So I'm like, heck yeah, if this made an impact on you, I'm getting it. And granted, this book only costs like $6 off Amazon. But, I allow myself to get hungry because I hunger for this knowledge. I hunger for what's, the content that can help me to get higher and higher in my goal to be an entrepreneur, to make a set amount that I have a desire for, and to live out the dream life that I'm looking for. I have a continuous hunger, but I'm constantly going to satisfy that hunger. I'm going out of my way to satisfy that hunger. So, be hungry, my friends. Be hungry. But go ahead and get your fill. Go ahead and eat. Go ahead and find it. No one's going to feed you. You have to physically go out there. Hunger is a good sign. It tells you that you need the sustenance. Go get it. Don't just sit there and complain and wonder why nothing is coming to you, because nothing ever will come to you. Think about this from the animal kingdom sense. When an animal is hungry, they don't just wait for their prey. If a predator is hungry, he or she doesn't wait for the prey to walk up to them and say, eat me, because that doesn't happen. The predator has to hunt the prey. He or she has to first locate and look for the prey. Once they find the prey, they then attack them. They go out. They get that prey. They get that sustenance. They feed themselves. They go out there. So the question is, are you a predator or are you prey? So I hope that this helps, because this is something that I think can really open your eyes. And once again, if you want a book that I haven't read yet, but just because my mentor told me it's awesome, I'm just going to say it right away. I trust him. So I'm going to say right away, this is awesome. And I'd be happy to maybe share some stuff that I get from this book and then tell you from personal experience, I agree, this is awesome. But I'm telling you, it already is. Anyway, if you want this book, The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason, get it. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give this YouTube video a like, or aka a thumbs up. That tells the YouTube algorithm that you enjoy the content that I post on this channel. And also, click the subscribe button and the bell notification to be updated on future videos. And last but not least, if you want to know how to start making money right away with an affiliate program that is very simple, very safe, all you gotta do is pay for the tools, which are dirt cheap when you compare to things that are like $5,000. Click the link in the description box below, and I'll be more than happy to help you get set up. And you'll have access to me, so I'll be there to hook you up. All right, so that's all I got for you. I'll see you in the next video. It's your boy Jason. Much love, God bless, and as always, you know how it is. Peace.
I should make money for free. Yeah, that's how money works. Money for free. If I ain't got a boss, then it's not a legal way to make money. You gotta know that's true, right? You gotta have a boss for you. Okay. The only way to make money is by spending a crazy amount of time. If I'm not like slave or nothing like that, okay. But okay, here we go. Nobody makes money from home. This COVID thing is just a fluke. We're gonna be in office again, and if you seriously want to help me, you should just give me money. That's how you can show me